Hey, what is up, everybody? This is Stevie Breach coming to you today. I wanted to start out my video with my first honest opinion of it. I decided to do my intro because I didn't want to start this video with just god-awful rage right off at the beginning. But what the fuck, TNA? I mean, honestly, what the fuck is going on over there? I can honestly tell you that, within the last year, maybe even going back farther than that, since I guess I read the writing on the wall that AJ Styles wasn't going to be returning to TNA, I haven't been a very regular viewer of TNA Impact Wrestling, but because Bound for Glory was coming, and I keep making these videos talking about the fact that I don't want TNA to die. I want something to happen to this company, that they can stay alive, whether if it's them moving to WGN, even if it's them staying on Destination America, if they go groveling back to Spike TV. One thing leads to another is that I hope this wrestling company stays in business. Maybe Ring of Honor with no TNA can pick up a few more wrestlers and then be a better number two. There's things that needs to improve inside of that company, but because Bound for Glory was coming up and because there's all the rumors that, basically maybe TNA's not going to be making it, that much farther as a wrestling company. Maybe they're going to crawl until the end of the year on Destination America, go on to their European tour, and then see where they are from there. There's some people saying that Destination America is going to stay with them till December. There's some people saying that they're going to stay with them until February. But one thing leads to another is this might have been the last TNA pay-per-view. So I wanted to put all my eggs into a basket, make sure that I was able to see this show. And what the fuck? I mean, in the main event, it was an awesome. Get my drink right here. Little Fireball and Gatorade. I got something in my throat, a little froggy. But they had an awesome feel-good moment. Matt Hardy wins the TNA World Heavyweight Championship. I know that the show was in the Carolinas, and they went there because of the fact that Hardy keeps on doing these Omega shows, and they keep making money, and people keep coming because they put on shows like the Hardys against the Briscoes, or the Hardys against the Wolves. I think I've been there, and they keep finding these main events that people really care about, and they want to go see wrestling, and TNA goes out on the road, and they're not really able to draw big numbers, and, they went to the Carolinas, they had a good show. There's rumors that they papered out the town a lot, but the main event, Matt Hardy beats Drew McIntyre and EC3. I was really surprised that EC3's 2-year run being undefeated in TNA, his run of having the championship for, it hasn't been that long. I was going to say it's been a year, but at last year's Bound for Glory, he fought that big fat Japanese sumo guy, so he's only had the championship for a few months. But I thought this was the start of a real reign, and I thought that the upcoming angle was going to be Jeff Hardy against EC3, and that was going to be the match that people really wanted to see, and that was the reason why Jeff Hardy was the special guest referee. In the match, Jeff was, he wasn't really partial to Matt or partial to Drew. He wasn't trying to go against EC3. EC3 made a few good covers, and Matt made some good 2 counts, and he didn't hold up on the 3 at all. He was babyface. He was, if it was a pin, it was a pin. Whoever's the better man was going to win, and that's the kind of guy that Jeff Hardy is. But, Matt wins. His baby, his wife, his dad, his brother, everybody's in the ring all celebrating. The show was all built around, he wanted to win because he wanted the World Heavyweight Champion to say he was World Heavyweight Champion, and win his first one. I guess he's sort of giving a knock to the WWE and the ECW run that he had. But you remember when he won that title, he was acting like he won, the WWE Championship. He was taking pictures with his brother. His brother had the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. He had the ECW title, and they felt like the Hardys were on top of the world. They owned SmackDown, they owned ECW, and, Jeff was becoming one of the most popular wrestlers in the world, and Matt was right there. I don't want to say on his coattails because they were really a singles team, and, they were holding their own, but, I heard the story that basically because of the fact that TNA doesn't have any television taped, they're going to be airing old matches that haven't been aired on television that they taped the last set of tapings, which I think was done all the way back at Slammiversary. And so maybe the plans weren't at that time that Matt Hardy wasn't going to be champion. So, you know, Matt has matches that are going to be shown on television, but he doesn't have the championship. And when the story came out yesterday that EC3 filed the injunction against Matt Hardy and, you know, it's trying to say that he didn't get pinned and he's not going to be the champion. And I thought that was just a way of trying to say that Matt couldn't hold the title on television. And so when he was wrestling, of course, they would be doing new commentary. They'd be calling Matt. They'd be telling the story. And maybe somewhere down the road, once they actually tape an episode for television, you can do EC3 against Matt Hardy. And you can find out who the true champion is going to be. But on YouTube, Matt Hardy to go on today and forfeit the TNA World Heavyweight Championship. It makes me want to hold a gun to my head and pull the trigger because I don't know what the hell I wasted my time on. I went out of my way. I know it's only 2 weeks. There's lots of other bigger TNA fans. They watch week in and week out. They're probably more upset than I am. But because it was Bound for Glory, I watched 2 weeks of Impact, and I was ready to watch the show so I would know what was going on. And now you win your first championship. You say you're on top of the world, and you just, that's it. You can have the title just so TNA can have a real championship. The exposure that Matt Hardy would have given the TNA World Heavyweight Championship if they would have let him go on the road with the title. When I saw Drew McIntyre wrestle at a house show, no, I apologize, not a house show, an independent show, you know, this was a while ago, but he brought his Evolve Championship, and he actually put the Evolve Championship on the line. One of the indie guys was like, I want a shot at your championship, and he goes, you know, I like your guts, being able to come out here and ask for a match, you're going to get it, and, I'll put the title on the line, and that was the main event of the night, and, you know, everybody went home happy, see Drew McIntyre, win a match, and, you know, keep his Evolve Championship and everything like that. But now, you know, Matt Hardy, who does tons of independent shows. I mean, he's working probably at least 3 to 4 times, probably even 5 times a night. Whenever there's a wrestling show, I'm sure he's one of the most heavily requested guys in the country. You know, he's the WrestleCade champion, and he could be going to shows carrying that TNA World Heavyweight Championship. I didn't go to the show, but I know I've seen pictures of it at BTW, the independent that I go to for WrestleFest and other shows. You know, Ethan Carter III showed up, and I don't know if he defended it or not, but he had the TNA World Heavyweight Championship there. So now everyone that went to this local independent here in California went and they saw the TNA World Heavyweight Champion wrestle in a match. I'm sure he took lots of pictures with fans for whatever he was charging, $5, $10, $15, $20. And, you know, they got to hold the championship, and, you know, he got some money in his pocket, you know, and everybody goes home happy seeing you win the title. But, you know, with no television in the foreseeable future, you have no World Heavyweight Champion. What the hell are you doing? That's it. I mean, like, I got no clue. I'm done. That's it. I got no cares about TNA anymore.